Save login, register or subscribe to save articles for later. Normal text size, larger text size, very large text size. A young unit commander pokes his rifle out of a hole in an old farmhouse in eastern Ukraine, trying to observe movements of the enemy just a few hundred meters away. We have reached the timber house, the very front of the front line of Ukraine's war with Russia and Moscow-backed separatists, via a 150-meter-long trench just as a snowstorm intensifies. A phone line runs along the trench, allowing soldiers at a distant observation point to report what they are seeing to their comrades on the front line. It's a World War I movie playing out in the 21st century. A Ukrainian soldier with the 30th Brigade stands in the trenches on the front line in the Donbass region. Kate Geraghty. The weapons of choice here are machine guns, rocket-propelled grenades, or anti-tank rocket launchers. A day ago, the unit spotted some movement from separatists of the self-declared Donetsk People's Republic, so they fired a preemptive mortar strike across the forested no man's land, in some of their enemies. Minutes after leaving the front line, a mortar is fired in our direction by either separatists or Russians. We can't tell, nor do we stick around to find out. It is too dangerous to linger. Ukraine's 30th Brigade in the trench at an observation post on the battleground in Donbass. Kate Geraghty. This stretch of woodland is just one battlefront in an 8-year war between Ukraine and the separatists, but it is also a key position the soldiers know they must hold if their country is to fend off Russia's invasion. With Ukraine's army now stretched thin, units in the Donbass face unprecedented firepower. But so far, they are holding their positions. On Thursday, US President Joe Biden announced $800 million in new military aid for Ukraine, including 800 additional Stinger anti-aircraft missiles, 9,000 anti-tank weapons, 100 tactical drones, and a range of small arms, including machine guns and grenade launchers. Commander Maxim, 23, holds a NLAW on the front line. Kate Geraghty. While Ukraine's plea for a no-fly zone over its territory have dominated the headlines, its forces on the ground have made good use of nimble, portable, high-tech weaponry to exploit weaknesses in Russian defenses. The unit we are embedded with is part of the 30th Prince Konstanti Ostrovsky Mechanized Brigade, which has fought many battles during the 8-year Donbass War. In this latest conflict, it has been instrumental in taking out Russian tanks. Soldiers in Ukraine's 30th Brigade discuss their weaponry in a trench in the Donbass region. Kate Geraghty. Prince Konstanti Ostrovsky, whose name was bestowed on the brigade, was a Ruthenian noble who led successful campaigns against the Grand Duchy of Moscow and saw off the Crimean Tatars at the Battle of Wisniewicz in 1512. The unit's 23-year-old commander, Maxim, says he and his soldiers are still inspired by their patron. Commander Maxim says the fighting in Donbass has changed markedly since the Russian invasion of Ukraine last month. Kate Geraghty. History is repeating, he says. It inspires not only me, but also my unit and our brigade. Maxim says the Eastern Front has changed markedly since Russia invaded on February 24th. The intensity of shelling and mortar strikes has increased. Drones now skim above the trees searching for them and trying to take them out. The enemy is more often using artillery and high-caliber machine guns. They are shelling during most of the day with just a 2 or 3 hour break, he says. They are shelling the front-line positions and also the positions to our rear, and the shelling is often quite chaotic. Maxim insists his unit is holding its position, and even suggests it could move on the separatists if ordered to do so. Maxim in the trenches on the Donbass front line. Kate Geraghty. We are ready to stay until the end and are ready to go and attack our enemies, but we are only waiting for the order of our High Commander, he says. The young commander, who has friends from the military academy fighting near the country's 2 biggest cities, Kiev and Kharkiv, says he believes his comrades will continue to resist the Russian onslaught. We believe in them, he says. We are supporting our friends on other fronts in Ukraine and are ready to avenge every Ukrainian soldier. English teacher Vyacheslav, 49, has only been on the front line for 2 weeks. From a small town in the Zhytomyr region, in Ukraine's northwest, he says he felt compelled to take up arms when the Russians invaded. While he served for a year in the Donbass in 2015, this is his first experience on the front line. His wife, his 2 children and all of his students understand his decision, Vyacheslav says. English teacher Vyacheslav, 49, has left the classroom and his family in northwestern Ukraine to fight with the 30th Brigade. Kate Geraghty, of course they are very scared about me, my children, my wife, my parents, they worry about me, the secondary school teacher says. If my wife didn't understand me, there would be no agreement, no love. We have to defend our motherland. We have to have freedom and peace. This is my duty. Vyacheslav says he doesn't understand Russian President Vladimir Putin's rationale for invading Ukraine, that he needs to denazify the country. I am not a fascist, I am not a Nazi. I'm a school teacher, he says. Vyacheslav says his job on the front line is to watch the positions of the enemy for any sign of movement by tanks or other vehicles. Sometimes they try to shoot us, and then we try to hide and run fast, he says.